You are front and center in the new The Batman trailer, which broke the internet very recently. And I just thought I thought you were totally unrecognizable as the Penguin. I'm kidding.
You never know. I mean, they're pretty. Talk about artists, man. I've worked with that makeup artist before. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, Colin walked onto set one day, and I walked right past him. I was like, "Okay, hey, dude, what's happening? Where's Colin? Are we gonna shoot?" It's pretty remarkable.
That is amazing.
But
He
you saw
really
that thing.
is.
So you saw that trailer, huh? I guess a couple people saw that.
Yeah, very few. It's going
Yeah.
around though. I think it
Yeah,
might go viral in a few
It
days.
might get traction.
yeah. Well, some of those, or one of those scenes in particular, we were filming on the last day that we shot. We finished. Well, we didn't finish. We gotta go. We're supposed to be going back to work now next month, but we shut down March 13th on a Friday, and some of the stuff that we were filming that day is in that trailer, and we were really stoked about what we were doing. Um, First of all, the script. When I read the script, um, I said to myself, "Yeah, this is on it." Because as you describe about Westworld, this show is very much about mystery. Batman, the series. If you go back to the original, it's DC, it's Detective Comics, and the script is really beholden to that, beholden to this idea of Batman as the world's greatest detective. And I think, as Gary Oldman once described, Gordon as something of a Watson to him. And so the script honors that, and it also set a tone that was very clear, and a tone that's been captured in that trailer. And I think one of the aspects of the script that I was really stoked about was the Batmobile, the way it was described. It was described as this kind of retro, hyper hemified muscle car that was just the craziest, coolest thing you'd ever seen. And when I read that, I said, aha, yes, because what it was trying to achieve, and what it does achieve, is to create an accessibility for our Gotham, a world that is tangible and grounded in a very, familiar reality, but at the same time, it's still fantastical, it's still tweaked, it's still, arch, but it's accessible. And there's a validation for the ideas, there's a validation for Batman's use of the cowl, for the reasons that he masks himself. um it just has a groundedness to it that really struck me. It had a legitimacy and an authenticity in that way. And then, of course, the tone is, as written as well, is just really emotional and evocative and psychological. I think if you look at that trailer, if I'm not mistaken, there's not one CGI uh image in the entire thing. That's all photographed. That's all stuff that Greg Fraser was lighting, and Matt was directing, and we were playing against it.
Just a reminder to everybody, you played James Gordon, who's in the comic book world, he is the police commissioner. But that's so fascinating that it goes back to, because this is something I wasn't really aware of, that you go back to the sort of Watson to Batman's Holmes. I find that to be a really interesting dynamic between those two characters that has not been played with a lot.
Once again, as in Westworld, Bernard exploring that world or those worlds. Here, um, the world is Gotham. The thing that distinguishes the Batman series from any other is that he lives in a city that is like, New York or Chicago. It's an American metropolis. And so we have an opportunity. Comic book, films have kind of sucked a lot of oxygen, from the cinematic room. But with Batman, we have an opportunity to use uh, all of the trappings of that genre to explore some things in an American city, through a lens of crime and corruption, um, that are really grounded and relevant and interesting. And so the detective work there is an exploration of Gotham, but it also becomes an exploration of a city very much like New York City. So I've really grown to appreciate what Batman represents in a deeper way, having worked on it. And I look forward to getting back to work and appreciating more and digging down more and continuing to do our best to do justice to to his legacy.